One potential client came to us after his team had already shot a video, edited it and signed off on it internally. Then the lawyer reviewed the script. One claim about product efficacy wasn't backed by clinical data. Everything went into the archive. In healthcare, this happens a lot, not because marketers are bad at their jobs, but because nobody explained the rules to them ahead of time. In this episode, 3 things what you actually need to check for compliance before production starts, what formats actually work. I'll show you with examples from our project with 3M and Accu-Chek, and at the end, what this really costs, including one line item most agencies never put in the quote. I am Sergey Rodin, founder of Lava Media, a video marketing agency. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about audiences, because everything else depends on this. Healthcare video marketing usually means different things to different people. So let's break down the 3 main audiences right away. Patients. The goal here is to explain and build trust. Simple language, emotional connection, as few medical terms as possible. For 3M, we made exactly this kind of series about an equipment for dentists.
This determines how quickly I deliver a project, how long the construction will stand, and my reputation. There are no minor details.
Doctors and medical professionals, a completely different conversation. Clinical data, technical accuracy, a credible source. This audience spots anything fake within seconds. Our project for Accu-Chek is a good example.
Closely mimics the function of a healthy pancreas, meaning insulin is administered in a more physiological manner, enabling precise microdose insulin delivery.
Investors. The goal is to present the technology as innovation, mechanism of action, market opportunity, credibility through production quality. We made a project like this for SFC Fluidics.
Can be part of an automated insulin delivery system. Panda features a non-mechanical pump and valve system that automatically delivers microdoses of basal insulin around the clock.
And here's where it gets important. Compliance rules for patient video and for HCP video are completely different things. And most companies only find it out after the video is already shot. Now, compliance, the part people usually hear about too late. Let's start with HIPAA. In practice, for video, this means any patient you film needs a written HIPAA authorization. This isn't just simple consent form. It's a specific federal document that lists what's being filmed, how it will be used, on which channels, and how the patient can withdraw that permission. It has to be signed before the camera ever turns on. The production crew also has to sign a business associate agreement with the medical facility. That's a separate HIPAA requirement. It's not just an NDA. BA logs and federal data protection obligations for the whole team. One important note about the background. Patient names on a whiteboard, screens on medical records, and an identifying information frame that's all PHI2. We do a PHI sweep of our location before we start shooting. And here's something a lot of people don't know. Blurring a patient's face in editing doesn't remove the need to get authorization before filming. They're the official position for HHC. Now let's talk about FDA and FTC. For pharma, the FDA regulates advertising directly. For medical devices, there are 2 regulators. The FDA covers device labeling and the FTC regulates advertising for most devices. Both require the same thing. Materials can be false or misleading. In practice, this means you can't claim effectiveness without specific evidence behind it. You can promote a use outside the approved indications. That's off-label promotion and it's illegal. If you mention a benefit, you need fair balance. You also need to show the risks. There is a question we ask ourselves at the start of every project. Is this a promotional piece or an educational piece? A corporate training video for doctors and consumer ad follow completely different rules. And here's some real current context. In September 2025, the HHC and the FDA announced a major enforcement action. Over 100 warning letters in a single day sent to pharma companies for misleading advertising. Regulators are demanding full disclosure of safety warnings. This is the strictest enforcement we've seen in years. The rules aren't getting looser, they are getting stricter. Here's a practical rule we always follow. Any video with an efficacy claim gets reviewed by the client's regulatory and legal team before production starts. Before filming, before animation, it protects everyone. If you are into video marketing, how to make it, how to distribute it, how to measure results, subscribe to the channel. Okay, rules covered. Now let's look at what actually works. I'll show you 4 completely different approaches from our own work. Different format, different budget, different goal. What actually works? 4 approaches. First, a patient education series. For Accu-Chek, we made training videos about an insulin pump, how to wear it, how to set it up, how to change it. A white cyclorama, minimal props, everything in the brand's colors. A purple lamp, a mug, 2D animation showing how the pump mechanism works, close-ups of the interface with graphics layered on top. The main takeaway here in patient education: simple equals trustworthy. The clearer it looks, the easier it to understand. Second, a B2B video for an HCP audience. 3M asked us to make a video about the Pentamix 3, a device used to mix dental materials. The key decision on this project: we cast a real, practicing dentist for the video, not an actor. A doctor, especially one known within the target audience, reads completely differently to a professional audience than an actor with great diction ever could. We filmed in a real office, high up with a city in the background. No green screen. The 3D graphics were integrated directly into the shot. The inside here, in HCP marketing, or authenticity matters more than polish. Third, a medical device video for an investor pitch. For SFC Fluidics, we made a video for their pitch. The product was a groundbreaking disposable pump. Our solution: 3D animation of the device's internal components combined with live action footage. Why 3D instead of AI? We need clinical accuracy in every detail: the metal, the plastic, the material textures. AI can give you that level of consistency and control. The inside here. For investor video, 3D animation isn't about looking pretty, it's about credibility. Fourth, caregiver education on a tight budget. For a stroke rehabilitation charity, we made a series for caregivers: how to safely set up a patient's home. The solution was simple: red means remove it, blue means add it. A medical professional physically walked through each step. A minimal set, a straight on camera. No patients in frame at all, so no HIPAA authorization needed. No risk involved. The budget here was much smaller than for 3M or Accu-Chek, and that was the right call. Not every healthcare video needs a big production. By the way, all four of these projects had very different budgets. So let's talk money honestly. Now, cost, and one thing agencies usually don't mention. We have 3 tiers on our site. Animated format, starting at $7,000. Good for device demos, mechanism of action, or explaining technology without any live action shoot. Hybrid live action plus animation, starting at $13,000. One shoot day with a professional crew, motion graphics laid on top, roughly what we did for Accu-Chek project. TV commercial level, starting at $50,000. Multi-day shoot, professional casting, film quality production. What pushes the prices up? How detailed the 3D models are, how complex the clinical locations is, how many shoot days you need, and the HIPAA compliance protocols required on set. Now, that line item I mentioned at the start, the one most agencies never put in the quote: regulatory review. This isn't our line item, it's the time your legal and regulatory team needs. It adds 2 to 4 weeks to the timeline, and it affects the budget through script revisions. Plan for it earlier. Compliance isn't a limit that gets in the way of making a great video. It's a filter that separates agencies who actually understand healthcare from agencies who just know how to shoot. You'll find the 3M, Accu-Chek and SFC Fluidics case studies at Lava Media, a link in the description. See you next time.